But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Young men find themselves in a world where their money, their jobs, and their opportunities are stolen from them and handed out to women and minorities. Men are systematically discriminated against by schools, by colleges, by jobs, by DEI and affirmative action, and even by everyday people. If you complain about this, you're stupid and evil. Everything wrong with the world is your fault, and anything good you do is only good insofar as it benefits women and minorities. What's the solution from conservatives? Just get married, bro. Then those same guys turn around and complain about their marriage and how they have no authority over their wives, and it's like, I wonder why young men don't want to get married. They must just be immature and selfish. Men are depressed and suicidal because they can't afford to buy homes and start families? Stop being so lazy. Put down the video games, get out of mommy's basement, and get back to work. Nobody stops to ask why men are stuck in their parents' basements. No. They're just lazy. Just like the left, the right blames everything on men.
And how men are no longer men. I talk to my mom about this a lot, and she says, well, maybe it's just the guys in Texas. Maybe it's just the guys in Los Angeles. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country in the age range of about 20 to, I think, about 55, maybe even 60. A lot of men are trash. A lot of men don't know how to treat women. A lot of men don't know how to really, quite frankly, pull their heads out of the sand and pay.
It's time we accept the facts. Conservatives do not care about you. The Republican Party does not care about you. They want to use you, they want to put you to work for the benefit of Israel, women, and old people in that order, but they couldn't care less if you're happy or fulfilled. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am not a conservative. I am a futurist. What is conservatism fundamentally? It's the worship of the old, of tradition and the status quo. To some extent that's good, you need stability, but you also need energy and innovation. Conservatism always seeks to restrain young men because we have a Dionysian fire burning in our souls. We yearn to break free and conquer the world, to dream up inventions and explore new frontiers. Conservatives are scared of that, and to some extent rightly so. They're very comfortable with the status quo, with their retirement plan and their social security check, and they're afraid that if young men rise to power, things will change very drastically. That's why they lecture you about the wisdom of tradition, Chesterton's fence. We've been doing it this way for 1,000 years, surely there's a good reason. Yeah, maybe, or maybe there's not. Maybe there's a better way to do it. Innovation always means trying something new, going out on a limb, taking a risk. Biologically, risk is what young men do best. Oh, well, that's because your brains haven't developed yet. You're just young and stupid and reckless. No, actually, taking risks is good. It's called courage. Every grand and noble achievement in history has been done by ambitious, reckless young men taking risks. We have a Faustian drive to explore, to climb, seeking ever higher and lonelier peaks. It's in our blood, it's in our testosterone to climb mountains, to build skyscrapers, to venture into outer space. Without young men taking quote-unquote stupid adolescent risks, we'd all still be living in huts. Go look it up. You'd be shocked how many great inventions were created by teenage boys. Revolver handguns, electric TVs, superhero comics, water skis. The 6 richest companies in America were founded by guys in their 20s. Don't get me wrong, there is virtue to caution, but society vastly undervalues the male adolescent spirit. They treat it with this condescension, oh, you'll grow out of it, you're just young and stupid. No, maybe we're actually kind of cool. Maybe young men have something going for them. Yes, we do dangerous things. We climb towers, we explore caves, we talk to strangers. Is it risky? Sure. That's what makes it fun. That is the ethos of White Boy Summer. Fundamentally, leftism and conservatism are both about controlling young men. The funniest example of this is scantily clad women. Now look, we're all Christians around here. We all understand that there's a limit and we need to be careful to avoid inappropriate content in media, right? But Imagine you're watching Star Wars with your family and you get to that scene where Princess Leia is in a bikini and she's a slave at Jabba's palace. The two people who will be most offended are your religious grandma and your liberal pink-haired cousin. Grandma will say, "This is inappropriate, it's encouraging lust." Your cousin will say, "This is problematic, it's objectifying women." And the truth is, they're both saying the same thing. You'll notice that when a video game comes out with like, I don't know, elf women in bikinis or something like that, a lot of leftist women suddenly become 18th century Puritans. That's exploitative, stop sexualizing women. Because fundamentally, moralistic leftists and puritanical trads are both afraid of the male spirit. They both want to control it. That's why you see all these conservative woman influencers on Instagram lecturing men about the evils of pornography. And they're right, of course, it is bad, but you have to understand that these like TradWife influencers hate pornography for very different reasons than we hate it. I know you, Deborah, you don't actually care about the boys. You just want to stop your boyfriend from seeing women who are more attractive than you. You see it as competition. You hate porn because it objectifies women. I hate porn because it steals your powers of levitation. We are not the same. We saw the same thing with the Hooters discourse. Both the tradcaths and the leftists want to ban Hooters. Obviously, I don't approve of Hooters at all. I actually think it's extremely cringe and pathetic and frankly gross. But I'm not going to get all stern and moralistic and preachy over it. Conservatives will never understand feminism because they've bought the propaganda that feminists are sex positive. They're just hippies who want to have hookups and threesomes every night. You'll notice that Zoomer Christian nationalist types always talk about feminism in terms of hookup culture. Bro, women invented feminism because they want casual sex with no emotional commitments. Really? Is that what they want? Is that something women are known for? Not wanting emotional commitment? That's funny because it seems to me that casual sex with no commitment or emotion is what men want. Of course, there are some women who want that, but there's a reason that 76% of Tinder users are men. There's a reason that, statistically, women are more likely to regret hookups and less likely to go back for more. The truth is, feminists really are not sexually permissive. They pretend to like hookup culture, but really, deep down, they correctly perceive that it turns women into objects for male enjoyment. And they deeply resent it. That's why they have so much violent, seething hatred for pickup artists and passport bros and the dreaded F-boys. That's why they hate Andrew Tate. Based? I'm a conservative Christian and I also hate Andrew Tate. I also hate passport bros and F-boys because that's degenerate. Maybe the feminists are onto something. No, you're kind of completely missing the point. The reason feminists hate Andrew Tate and passport bros is because they want to control young men. They want to domesticate you. But hey, we believe in traditional family values around here. Feminists want to control young men, maybe that's a good thing. Or maybe, instead of nagging and moralizing about degeneracy, we should ask why these things are happening. Why are Zoomer and millennial guys so afraid of marriage? Why do they feel like they need to become passport bros and literally move to Thailand to find better women? Men want freedom and power, but modernity denies us that. The opportunities our grandfathers had have been given away to women and minorities, and we're stuck working dead-end, boring jobs. We have very little chance of becoming community leaders because there's no communities to become leaders of. Most of us will never own our own homes and estates. It is incredibly suffocating. Can you really blame these men for not wanting to get married to some TikTok-addicted modern woman? Can you blame them for not wanting to be trapped for the rest of their lives, never being allowed to have adventures with the boys? Modern marriage is designed to give all the benefits to women and zero benefits to men. You pay for everything, you give up all your dreams and ambitions, but don't you dare demand obedience in return. No. You defer to her desires, because a real man puts his wife first. Of course that's true, right? As Christians, you should put others first. But you can't expect the vast majority of people to do that, right? We're talking about on a societal scale. If you want people to get married, you have to give an incentive. You have to give them rewards. Oh, well, a real man would get married anyway. All right, pal. Check back with me in 10 years and tell me how fulfilled and satisfied you are. I wish you the best, I really do. And marriage can be a wonderful thing. You don't want to be lonely when you're old. But for marriages to be healthy, you need to have authority and your wife needs to respect you. Otherwise, you'll just feel trapped and frustrated, and you'll turn into a sick, neurotic, miserable shell of your former self. I've seen it happen. These Zoomer Christian nationalist types who spend all day moral nagging about hookup culture are not really anti-feminist. They're really just ugly little incels who are jealous of Chad and Tyrone getting all the girls. If the reason you hate hookup culture is because of insecurity, if you came from these black pill communities, you're a spiritual communist. You're mad because it's not fair. Some guys get all the girls and I don't get any. You view traditional marriage as basically welfare, redistributing the wives equally so that everyone has an equal share. Look, nobody loves marriage more than I do, okay? But the reason for loving it should be that you're a strong, energetic, high-thumos young man taking your place as a patriarch. It should come from a place of strength and confidence, not weakness and insecurity. Social conservatives can never defeat feminism because they still believe the myth that marriage is meant to civilize men. On the contrary, marriage is meant to civilize women. The Greeks and Romans believed that women were basically maenads, full of chthonic, Dionysian energy. Men are not dogs or horses to be tamed by the gentle touch of a woman. They do not want to be domesticated. They want to be wild and free. They want to be barbarians. They want to be Gaston, not the beast. Trads love to moralize about a breakdown of the nuclear family and how men need to step up. They love to browbeat us with truisms about the need for marriage and strong families. Stop complaining, young man. You're a mule. You were born to work your entire life and have no ambitions of your own. The greatest thing you will ever do is start a family. Yeah, okay, maybe for you. We are not your mules. We are sensitive young men. What if you had told Alexander the Great or Nikola Tesla or Leonardo da Vinci that they need to settle down and get married? Stop working on your silly little projects, Leonardo da Vinci. The greatest thing you'll ever do is start a family. No, actually, the future is male. Anything grand or beautiful in our future, any genius inventions or brilliant works of art or courageous expeditions to the stars will happen because high IQ young men decide to have fun. To quote Camille Paglia, we could make an epic catalog of male achievements, from paved roads, indoor plumbing, and washing machines to eyeglasses, antibiotics, and disposable diapers. When I cross the George Washington Bridge or any of America's great bridges, I think men have done this. Construction is sublime male poetry. Traditional marriage was always meant to be a trade-off. We agree to provide and protect in exchange for dominion. Men need to be kings in their own estates. Now you expect us to be good little boys and get married without any cultural or legal authority? I don't think so. Until patriarchy is restored, traditionalism is a cope. Hello friends, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Just say anything, literally anything, and that will be a huge help for the algorithm. If you really like my videos and you want to help me out, consider joining my Patreon. You'll get a shout out in every video, you'll get to join my elite inner circle Discord server, and you'll get to join our weekly video calls, where you can talk with me and the boys about philosophy and history and politics. It's a great time. My patrons have genuinely changed my entire worldview on many, many issues. If you want to join that dialectic and shape my opinions and shape the future of this channel, join us. Look, all it costs is $1 a month. That adds up to $12 a year, which is nothing. That's like an hour of work. In exchange, you get to be my friend forever. If you pledge $5 or more, you'll get access to the Arthur Greenwood archive. These are my old videos that were just a bit too controversial for YouTube, including my really old videos from when I was like a democratic Voshite socialist. There's even the hour-long debate I had about anarcho-capitalism. So, if you're interested in the deep Arthur Greenwood lore, you'll definitely want to check that out. Thank you to my current patrons, Benjamin, SEAL Team, Wesley, Liam, Woodson, Honorary A, Contranock, Bennett, The Goat, Wise Mythical Stone, our resident meme lord, Karthik, our resident Kshatriya, Piedar, Lexus, Medi, Temp, Carter, Aiden the Astronaut, Lucaso, Texan Tetra, Jake, Mark, my buddy Seb, Danis, Brandon, Yendor, the resident Unk / Kangaroo Whisperer, Dan, the resident statistician, Eric, Maxim, Sun Tzu, Larry, Atlantean Squidweird, King Crypto, Philip Von Filbert, Gerald the Brotherly Friend, he's a real one, and TDW, the OG. You guys are the best. Thank you all so much. Love you all. Everybody click and watch this video right now, and I'll see you there. God bless America.